Hi.
Hi world. This is our very first Flosstube, number 1. I'd like to introduce ourselves. I am Amy and this is...
I'm Allie.
And we are Lost Our Needles.
Or have we lost our needles?
Where are the needles? Hey, we're located in the Phoenix metro area. I frequently lose my needle. And we just kind of thought this has given us something to bond over, and we thought we'd give it a whirl and join all the lovely floss tubers out there that are doing such a wonderful job. And we just want to be a part of that community in our small little corner of the world. And I'm going to let Ellie take over.
Hi, I am a teacher in the Phoenix metro area, like in a suburb of Phoenix. I teach high school history, which is always an adventure. We're currently filming at my mom's house because this is my mom. And then I also have a sister who lives with her as well, who is off camera laughing at us. And then I also have a brother in the Navy. Outside of cross stitch, which is new for me, I also have tried a lot of different hobbies. I like to hike. I spend time with my friends and get involved in church and things like that.
And I have been cross stitching off and on. So the story is I graduated college, joined the Air Force as a nurse. And when I was stationed in North Carolina, discovered the art of needlework, more specifically cross stitch. I worked with a lot of Southern nurses. So I taught myself to cross stitch, only to realize a couple years later that I was cross stitching backwards. I make my X's all wrong, but it's stuck. I can't change. As long as it's consistent, that's all that matters, right? And I cross stitched up until my kids were, I had 3 children. They were small, young, and you know, it's nearly impossible to do anything long term. So I kind of put cross stitch on a back burner and took up card making. Did card making up until about a couple of years ago. I lost my husband very unexpectedly, but I discovered the path of grieving is strange. With his loss, I also lost a love of card making, book reading. I shouldn't say I lost the love, I just didn't have the energy to do it. So in the meantime, Nicole Spoor, who I follow as a card maker, reintroduced me to cross stitching. And I thought, okay, that's something that I can do. It's short term. I have the time for it in the evening instead of just being on my phone or binge watching whatever. I can cross stitch. So I got back into cross stitching probably September. Late summer, early, yeah. And then introduced it to Allie, and she took to it like a duck to water. And we've been cross stitching pretty consistently ever since. We're slow, but we enjoy it. So here we are.
Yeah, she came over to my house one day for dinner and a movie, and she's like, okay, well, I've been watching my floss tubes and I'm cross stitching. And after like a couple of days of this, I was like, all right, let me give this a try. And so yeah, that's a little bit about who we are, our story. Mom's definitely always like encouraged the creativity pieces. So with that, we're going to show some of our whips.
Yes.
So Mom, why don't you start with this?
Okay, so I actually have a couple of works in progress. I'm only going to show you one today because the other one is big. It's in a
project bag?
No, it's not a project bag. It's in the, anyway, it's too large to bring out. It's in the hoop, yeah. It's too large to bring out. I'll bring it out next time. But Nicole Spoor has been doing the snowman. It's
like the snow magical
Sal, and I've been doing that with her. I'm a little behind. I just have a little bit of the last snow drift to go, and then all the back stitching, and then of course the finishing. But he's been so much fun to make, and she is a delight to stitch along with. Very creative. I've been following her for a long time as a card maker, and now I follow her as a cross stitcher as well. So this is one of 3 current whips that I'm doing right now. That's the one that's taking up all my time right now because I'm so behind.
And you're finishing it with Chantel's board.
And
right?
I'm finishing it with Chantel's board, Chantel 141's board. I have everything. It's just I need to get it painted and stained, but that won't take me long, and that's stuff I enjoy. And then again this fall, I saw this Zucca pumpkin. I am working on that. I'm probably about halfway through it, but I am alternating the colors. I have a teal background. I'll show it to you in our next one. Can you tell it's my favorite? Well, you probably can't because you don't see my house, but teal is my favorite color. So I have a beautiful teal fabric. I can't tell you where I got it because I didn't realize you were supposed to keep track of that stuff. So I do now. And then the pumpkin itself is just like a shaded cream that shows up beautifully. And then I found some bluey brown to do the stem in that goes beautifully with the teal. So that I'm probably...
She'll figure out what color she's doing and we'll post it in the notes.
Yes. Anyway, it's probably about a third done. I'll give that. It's a very large project. It's very therapeutic just working in 1 or 2 colors, but I love working on the pumpkin. And then the third whip that I have started, but I'm not showing it to you because I have one tiny little piece of one tiny little sail done, and it's a huge project. But I am doing the Glendon Place,
Poltergeist Pirates.
Poltergeist Pirates, yes. This thing is huge, and I'm very excited about it. It's got some glow-in-the-dark threads, and the reason I like it is my husband and I motorhome for many years together, and our theme for the motorhome was a pirate ship. He was the pirate, and I was the mermaid. So this just kind of made me think of him, and it's just a lot of fun, and it'll be a great Halloween hang-up, or maybe full year somewhere if I find the perfect spot. Anyway, so those are the 3 things I'm currently working on. One is almost done. One is, like I said, about a third of the way done. And then this one, it was my birthday start, which was in December. And I've just got a tiny piece of sail done. So, but this one's going to be fun. It's just going to take me decades to do.
She's already telling me it's part of my inheritance to finish.
And I still have a couple years left in me, I hope. Anyway, so I'm really excited about what I'm working on. I have tons of projects. The other thing I wanted to say is I went a little cuckoo getting back into cross stitch and bought a lot of patterns. And my New Year's resolution is that no more patterns can I purchase until I've caught up with some of the ones I have in my basket. So I am limited to buying thread or fabric to finish the patterns that I already have. So that's my goal for the year, is just to finish some of the 200, probably, no, I shouldn't say that, probably 100 patterns that I've accumulated since I was a very young adult.
Some of them are older than I am.
Yes, many of them are older, but I did go a little nuts and bought a lot of new patterns because it's been a couple years since I've seriously cross-stitched, and the patterns it's amazing all the variety of style out there, which I absolutely love. So anyway, enough of me. Those are what I'm working on right now, and I know Allie's working on a couple things too.
Actually, only one. I actually finished my other whip last night, so you guys will get to see that in a little bit. But after my first/second project, Mom was showing me all these patterns on Etsy, and I came across this by Tinsel cross stitch. And I absolutely fell in love with it. My daughter is a go big or go home kind of gal. She does one tiny little thing, and then here, let me take something that's... I don't think I realized quite how big it was going to be.
Scare off most mature, advanced needleworkers.
So Mom took me to Old Town Needlework in Scottsdale and helped me kit up the project. And so after Halloween ended, I started the project, and I've been going back and forth in between a bunch of smaller ones So this is what I have so far. I've got the ribbon. I still have some of like the blue to go before I get into the actual ornament, but I'm pretty pleased with how it's turning out. It's all the called for colors, but the fabric that it was called for is actually no longer being in manufacture, however you say that. So the wonderful woman at, like I said, Old Town Needlework in Scottsdale, helped me find a fabric for it. And so it's on 28 count Harvest Moon Lugana by Forbidden Fiber Co. And it's really pretty. You can't necessarily see it super well. The lighting helps a little bit, but there's like some modeling, I think they call it, that's just very subtle, but really pretty. And someday this is going to be something I frame whenever I get this done.
My daughter has impressed me, considering she's just started doing this in September. Her stitches are incredibly neat and tidy. This is going to be a beautiful, she's impressed me how well she's taking to it.
Unlike
and she does her stitches correctly, by the way, just so you know, because I did say do them right, because somebody one day will say, did you know your crosses are backwards?
Okay, and then we also have a couple of our recent finishes, since this is like our first episode. Some of the things that we've finished recently. Mom has already put away one of her Christmas finishes, so she has a couple fall ones she's going to show you. You want to show your fall ones?
Yeah, my Christmas ones are out in a big box, and I really don't want to start going into it. But the first thing I really finished when I got back into it, I think what really appealed to me, the new stuff, is the way people are finishing now. And like little pillows for dough bowls. It just fascinated me, the different ways people are finishing now. So this was my first little finish, was this little Tom turkey. It just says give thanks. Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday because it's still not been commercialized.
Hold it while you talk so they can see your face.
And it's all about giving gratitude, and our faith is very important to us. It's really what's gotten me through the loss of my husband. And anyway, so I made it into a pillow. The first time I've made a little pillow. I watched a couple tutorials, including one by Primrose Cottage. And it's so much fun, and the different ways of doing things. And then the first...
Do you know who designed Tom Turkey?
No.
Okay. We'll put it in the show notes.
Anyway, he's just adorable. He's an Etsy pattern. I didn't do enough homework. I'm going to get a D for the day. I shouldn't even show this one then. Dang nabbit. Anyway, so this was my second project. My first really big project coming back in was the Harvest Cider and Hay Rides. I fell in love with it. One, the colors are my home, primarily the truck. And then I finished it so that it can be displayed just in a...
She put magnets on the back.
Yep. So it sits in a wooden thing, and it's just displayed year round. A wooden tray, that's the word. Anyway, that was a lot of fun because the colors are cheerful. It was easy progress. Anyway, so that's my recent finishes this fall.
I love the variegated floss on that one. Yes. With all the colors of the truck.
Everything was called for except for the truck. The company I ordered the floss was out of the variegated color. So DMC actually had a beautiful variegated floss that I used for it. It was even better than I was hoping for. So.
And then I I only started cross stitching in October. I was on fall break and I was like, all right, I want to try this. And so back to Etsy.
She's a prolific stitcher. She's done way more than me.
I have less going on, we'll say that. So Mom bought me this little pattern by Crafty Bluebonnet. And they have this whole spool series. So this was my first ever finish.
Her first project.
And Mom helped me finish it, and it has the magnet on the back. And then...
It's your turkey right here.
Oh, yeah. And then so she helped me, she found this little box for me and put the magnet in. So she actually finished this one for me completely. And then I have shelves by the entrance to my house. And so I did that one. And then I'm on a roll with Crafty Bluebonnet's Spool series. They have the turkey spool, which I just think he's stinking adorable.
Yeah.
And then I haven't fully
The whole
finished.
series is adorable.
This is one of their more recent ones. And the fabric this is on, I think it was like, it was some sort of Ava from Mom's Stash.
Yeah, very old. Older than her.
And then this was my birthday start. So my birthday is just a couple days after hers. And so I made this. And this one is, the fabric is Cocoa by Fiber on a Whim. And I love it. It's so warm and just... So I got on a thing with that. But then I also, me and my friend had a Grinch party for our birthday because we share a birthday. And so I was all about the Grinch this year. And so Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means maybe a little bit more. And this pattern was by Hands On Design. It's all the called for fabric, all the called for everything. I just didn't put the buttons or the beads on because I didn't have a needle for it.
And then we finished it in a stand. You can buy these place card stands on Amazon, and kind of stitched it in around that so it stands up anywhere you want it. I know you can't see it, but it's standing on the island. It's just a clever way you can move things. That's why I just love all the way they're finishing things today that are so different than everything had to be framed back in the day.
And then the one other thing that I've made and fully finished, I made this for my sister. She is not a coffee drinker. She'll drink coffee occasionally, but she's a cocoa drinker. And so I saw this pattern by Cherry Hill Stitchery. Snow is falling and cocoa is calling. And so I stitched this. That's where I got the Cocoa Ada by Fiber on a Whim. And I love it. She loves it. It's the closest we come to snow here in Arizona. So those are some of the recent...
Yeah.
Oh, I have one more finish that I finished last night. So...
It's not fully finished, but it is a finish.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, the Phoenix area is interesting for the winter. A cloudy day makes it feel like Christmas because we just don't get snow, and we don't even get a lot of rain down here. But so cloudy days, which we're having today, is kind of cool because it makes it feel like winter.
A high of 56. Everyone's in their coats and...
Yeah, we're having a freeze warning for the next couple of nights, so I'm going to have to go out and cover up all my plants.
So this was my second ever start. I started it right after the little Jack-O-Latern spool. And this is like striped witch's hat. It was in like the Just Cross Stitch magazine back from 2015. But I found it and I really liked it. I think it's the called for fabric. It's an Ada. I didn't really know much about fabric when I bought it.
It was in my stash.
This I bought from Joann's. Okay. And then I kind of cheated a little bit. There was supposed to be like a sparkler coming out over here, and then I read the pattern wrong, and there was supposed to be some like stars right here and in the green up here.
Like I said, her second project, so she was still learning and is still learning. We all are.
So I just decided I wasn't going to go back and tear everything out, and I like it. So I'm going to turn this into a pillow. I have some time for Halloween next year, but I finished it last night with all the webbing and back stitching. So
turned out really
the
cute.
Spider is my favorite part. Like, I think he's just adorable. So he's my favorite part of the project. But it was fun with all the swirls, and there were parts where I was like, how do I do this?
She had to learn a lot of new things very quickly to do that pattern. She used metallic thread for the buckle. Didn't you had some beading in there?
No, this one doesn't have beading.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun.
It's her second project, and she's taken in.
So
yeah, go big or go home.
And then we're just gonna plans for stitching. What are we doing? It's day 4 of a new year. So Mom talked about she's gonna stitch from stash patterns at least.
Yes, if I need floss, which I have plenty of floss, some of which is older than her, but I have plenty of floss, and I have quite a bit of fabric too. So if I need something to do a project that I already have a pattern, I will do that. But yeah, I just want to I have so many beautiful patterns that I'd really like to do those. But the problem is, you designers out there, shame on you. I mean, I'm yay for you, but you have so many beautiful new things, and I just love them. But
what she's saying is you're too good at your job.
You're really good at what you do, and I'm grateful for you. You're a talent, but it makes it really hard for me to say, not this year. So again, I'm going to work on the pirates. I'm going to work on the pumpkin. And I really would like to do, I have several small little things I'd like to do. I haven't totally decided what they're going to be, but those are going to be I like working on big projects, but they get exhausting. So the little projects to turn into pillows or little signs to dot around the house for the seasons. Those are things I'll be working on this year.
I think I need a dough bowl just so I have a way to finish some of the smalls.
I think so. That means a trip to Ivy and Sage.
Darn.
Dang it.
Ivy and Sage is a store out in Gilbert that basically has a whole bunch of small businesses all within, almost like a co-op.
Yeah.
And they have all these different
marvelous artists
home
and
decor,
clothing.
On our Instagram, which is also Lost Our Needles, I have a picture of the Christmas Means More finish with a little Grinch, Scrooge gnome that one of the creators, I can't think of their name
Primitive,
right now.
Something primitive.
Yes. It's tagged in our Instagram on that post. But they just have so much cute stuff, and don't go in unless you're ready to spend some money.
Great place for gifts if you're in the Phoenix area and haven't been. And they do their season. They just opened up their Valentine's today, and I'm itching to get over there. But I'm telling myself, go clean this year, but that'll last another week.
And then I am too new at stitching to do any of the whip goes, any of the stitch from stash that I'm seeing on so many people's floss tubes, which means I get to have haul. And actually I'm really lucky. One of my orders that I just made from 123 Stitch came in today before we started filming. So one of my next projects is going to be hands-on designs. Let's talk spring. Sorry, I'm blocking your face.
No, that's all right. I'm just trying to get it. There you go.
And I love the whole series. Let's Talk Summer was actually the one that initially grabbed my attention, and then they have all the other ones. And there's so it's January. Too early to start thinking about spring. But I started sending Mom. I was like, hey, isn't this pattern cute? It's of some snowman. And she's like, yeah, if we still lived in Michigan.
We lived there for 28 years.
I grew up there and moved down here after college. And so I was like, oh, you're right. We walked outside, I was taking down lights the other day with Mom and my sister, and I'm in a t-shirt wishing I was in a tank top because in the sun it's just so hot. Snow is just weird in January. Hard to decorate with snow. So I was like, all right, let's start looking at spring patterns. So I found this.
Snowmen, but...
And then the fabric that came with it, I was out of stock. So I just got this 32 count black Lugana. It's nothing special as far as there's nothing on it yet, but I think that's just by Zweigert. So there's that, and then I have another Crafty Bluebonnet spool that.
Which one are you doing?
The XOXO.
For Valentine's.
They just had a whole new release of Valentine's Day spools, and yeah, as soon as 123 Stitch gets theirs, I'll be getting mine. So that's where I'm going. My plan is to have a little doodad for this guy throughout the whole year.
Round, yeah.
So you'll probably be seeing lots of little spools. But yeah.
And I'll be better about getting my organizational stuff for this done.
She told me to plan what we want to talk about, so I made a whole plan.
I had a rough night last night, and I really wasn't in a place to get ready for it last night. So I had a gallstone, and it wasn't a lot of fun passing it.
So yeah, anything coming up that you're excited about, just in life or stitching or any of it?
I do.
Oh,
we have
go on vacation.
Yeah, I'm going to be going on vacation, and I'll be gone most of February, which will be fun. Taking a trip with a couple of my husband and I's good friends from Michigan that we've stayed in close contact with. So that'll be fun. And then we're having a baby shower in the family this weekend.
Not me, not any of, it's a
mine,
cousin.
Our nephew, my nephew, her cousin. They're expecting a baby in
a month?
February, I think. Yeah. It's while I'm on the cruise.
So yeah, and then our plan for this, I think right now we're shooting for once a month Flosstube. I'm currently on winter break, so it made it kind of easier, but
she has a little more time for this.
Yeah, that way, like, as we get to do it, film it together once a month.
Yeah.
So I might have to do it solo if you're gonna be on vacation.
Yeah, or wait till I come back. Either one. It's up to you. But
so anyway,
yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us as we kind of join the Flosstube community.
It's given us something to bond over.
Yeah.
As we lose our minds together, lost our needles. We lose a lot of needles. Do you guys lose a lot of needles? We lose a lot of needles. I think I'm on my 5th pack already.
Yeah, and she has a rug. I do a lot of stitching at her house too. Like, we'll come over and watch a movie, and she has like a weave rug that's like what, tweed?
No, it's a seagrass.
Seagrass. So like you drop your needle and it's stuck in all the, I don't know what the word is. It just gets stuck in the weave.
The weave, yeah.
I have actually found every needle I've lost so far.
There's one I still haven't found, but anyway, so Lost Our Needles is very appropriate for the two of us.
And like I said, we have an Instagram with Lost Our Needles where you can kind of see the more day-to-day stuff in between.
Who's your favorite floss tuber that you follow?
So the one, it's another mother-daughter duo, but it was the ones like I saw a lot of patterns that I really liked and it got me really excited. So I love the Carolina Stitchers, Joy and Emma Kay. Like, I look forward to their videos all the time. What about you?
Well, Nicole Spoor, for one, she's the one that got me back into it. And then I really enjoy watching Tiger Lily because her energy just, it doesn't matter what she's talking about. She could be talking about cleaning out a barn and I just want to go out and clean a barn with her. And I have cleaned out a barn and I don't want to clean out a barn. But she makes it so fun that you want to go do whatever Tiger Lily is doing. So Carrie, thank you. You've brought joy into my world.
We did the 12 Days of Stitchmas.
We did. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for putting that on. That was amazing.
Yes, that was amazing. It was a lot of fun. A lot of wonderful artists out there. It's just mind-blowing just to...
Wait till we get out of the Christmas spending spree and then going to go buy some more.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for letting us into your world for a few short, brief minutes. And Happy New Year.
Have a wonderful January.
Happy New Year.